Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 64 of Europa Universalis IV. As Great Britain. I had to stop and think then who I was playing as. I think it might be time to think about potentially going to war with Scandinavia, taking some of their cheaper provinces from them. We can probably still fabricate a claim or two. Let's go for Akashus. Get a claim going on that. Now, if we were to declare war on them, and I can't even check this now, who are you allied with? You're allied with Riga, Gelre, and the Hansa. So no one that is hugely a problem to us. How many troops do you have? That is the important question. Because Scandinavia can go massive. Scandinavia has 33,000 troops and a 51 force limit. They don't have much manpower in the tank, though. I certainly have enough men. My forces are certainly big enough to be able to deal with that. So what I'm going to do is a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mothball the heavies. We're really going to need those if we want to win this war. And that's already going to cost us a little bit of money, mainly from the fleet maintenance probably. So that's quite expensive. And then... yeah, we're not bothered about that. We also want to start shipping up some of these troops. They're two fairly evenly balanced armies, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to... well, we'll take this army. And we will ship it up to here. Now, we are still going to want to make sure that we do keep a few units around on the mainland, because... Sweden do have what used to be Denmark. And obviously the Hansa are going to be involved. The Hansa's quite big. Gelre's quite... well, Gelre's not all that big. But we do have France involved with us as well. Who was the other one? Riga. Riga aren't going to be too problematic. So I think we'll be okay. Military tech, we're not at cap yet. So we will be able to grab military tech 20. I mean, we could grab it now if we wanted to. But it only gives us a bit more infantry shock. It's not terribly important. We could also get the next admin idea. But I think we'll... well, the next admin tech. But we need to save up a little bit, I think, because we are going to be coring some more stuff. Although it'll be quite cheap stuff that we're going to core. No debate in Parliament. So, what do we want to do? Monthly autonomy change. Base tax in one province. Recruitment time and regiment costs could be quite useful actually, because I think those regiment costs also include the maintenance costs, so the army would be 10% cheaper to run for 10 years. Could be quite useful. We don't want to give someone a random seat in Parliament. Global trade power and trade efficiency, that could be quite useful. Let's go for that. Try and get some money in the bank. How are we going to do it? Lose 52 military power. Yep, we can afford that. Lose 1 mercantilism. You never want to lose mercantilism. Lose 10 prestige. We are going to go into war, so we can get that back. Lose 20 admin. Yep, we've got plenty of admin power. Lose 10 prestige. We'll wait off on that at the moment. 12 military is cheap as chips. Lose 10 church power. Yep, get that back nice and easy. We don't really want to lose navy tradition. Admin power, again, got loads of it. Local autonomy in Ghent. Yep, because it doesn't really matter. Lose 32 more military power. We'll do that as the last one. That gets us up to 100%. We'll leave it as it is for now. We should be good there. So we're going to ship those troops up there. I also think we're going to start shipping some of these troops up here. We'll leave these guys up there. You're going to have a leader. And we'll just make sure we sort of get another army up there as well. And we'll make sure that we have our heavies up here. We'll do our best to try and blockade the area. Scandinavia do have some heavies. Most of what they have appears to be transports. Transports and lights. We should be okay. We are Great Britain after all. So we're going to be landing those troops. Then we'll be going off and getting some more. Good old privateer fleet. How are things going with the inflation? I think it is working its way down slightly because we do have that inflation guy. Do have quite a bit of admin power in the bank. We could just buy the inflation down. I'm actually just going to go ahead and do it just the once because we're almost making money now. There's no point doing it a second time because the inflation isn't above 2. What about our war exhaustion? What's that like at the moment? Don't have any. Fantastic. Might get some separatists pop up at some point, but I don't think that's really a big problem. Lose some money, or a province now opposes. Well, we'll just lose the money. It's not ideal. It's, you know, you don't want to lose anything. That's the point of it, but it happens sometimes. So we're just going to get our armies in place so that we have the ability to actually fight this should we need to. We'll go ahead and put this army up here in Antwerp. You can also have a leader, even though he's not the greatest leader. Well, you probably don't need the maneuver. You're going to be defending more, aren't you? So I think you can actually have the guy with 1 maneuver, and you can have the guy who has the 5 maneuver. He might be more useful up there. We are into the next year. We could take the next military tech. We'll do it before the war starts, I think. Before we get into any real battles. France will help out with some of the fighting down here, so that's not too much of a problem. We just want to wait for that entire army to be dropped off up there. We probably need a few more transports. What is our naval supply limit these days? We can still get... Let's actually get ourselves another... And I'm doing this at the quick provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4... And where are we going to get the 5th one? 5. Dead quick down here in Brittany. Just so we've got 25 transports, because I think it'll just make it a little bit easier moving armies around. Our general army size now tends to be a fair bit bigger than a 20 stack, so that makes a lot of sense. And what I'm going to do now is get these guys to also move up here as well. An advisor has died. Gain some inflation to gain some Diplo power. Or gain just 10 Diplo power. Well, we don't really need either. I guess we could gain the inflation. We've now got a dead advisor, which is our Diplo guy. Morale of navies could be useful, but we are spending quite a lot of money. I would like to stick with a rank 2 advisor, but the only one is Colonial Range, who's a little bit useless. We could try and cycle them out by spending a little bit of money, see who we get. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll take a little bit of time for one to come back. We can... No, we can't really even do without a Diplo one, can we? Because we're integrating France and it's going to cost us a fortune. And now I've only got the choice of a 3... Oh, no, we did get one. Trade efficiency. He's only rank 1, but he'll do. He'll pay for himself. That's good. So we're going to drop off the rest of our troops. We are going to take our heavies and they're going to come and sit up here. And we'll see how much we control the AI with them. We're actually losing money at the moment because we are over our colonial limit. So that we did get a free colonist. And what's happening now is because that colonist was only for 10 years, we are now over our colonies by 1. Which means we are spending an extra 4.5 ducats a month. So hopefully we can get rid of that. Let's go ahead and just get rid of the rest of that inflation. There we go. Now we're making money and we're at war. And we have the heavies unmothballed. So that's all good. We are actually taking attrition up here, which is not a nice thing to do. We've got one army up here that doesn't actually have a leader at all, because the leader's still down there, who will be coming up shortly. Let's go ahead and just get all of these transports into Norfolk. And I know those guys are getting attrition, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I just want everybody to get up there and be where they're supposed to be. Get up there with the leader. Won't take too long. You're supposed to be at Norfolk as well. And we've got one more building somewhere, and I can't remember which province it's in. Should tell me, actually. Oh, there it is. So we'll get you up to Norfolk. And then I'll bring the transport fleet back down here as well. So you guys can group up. Everyone's where they're supposed to be. You can move back down here. Let's go ahead. Can we fabricate a claim on anything else? Norderland, we could try and take that. It'd be difficult to get to without the transports, but we could take this one, actually. Let's go ahead and fabricate a claim on that before we declare war. So just have to wait for the diplomat to come back. So, of course, we are taking a little bit of attrition here, but that's fine. 14th of March. Hopefully the situation won't have changed. Most of these are being cored, which means we can't do anything. We don't really need this manpower recovery speed. I've been running that for a while and we don't really need it. Diplotech cost. Yeah, we'll take the Diplotech cost. That's not all that important. Do we want to change any of these? Keeping the yearly prestige is nice. Don't think we need the manpower recovery speed at the moment. Well, we've got full church power. Let's get rid of that one, because we'll get prestige from the fighting anyway. So let's go for morale of armies, morale of navies. And I don't think we need the manpower recovery speed. We are at full manpower. So let's go ahead and take the discipline. And that should give us a considerable advantage here. So we can declare war. Switzerland would come in on our behalf, but I'm not going to call them in because there's not really a lot of point to it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I am going to quickly go down to... Well, slowly go down to speed 2. Let us move some units into their provinces. There's a very big army over there. I am going to have to split it up. I have no idea where their forces are. And I say that, and I do see them moving around with some ships, not chips. I'll make myself hungry. Might be able to chase them down. The Battle of the Straits of Dover. Obviously, we had a few units there that ran into some of mine. I think we can go ahead and take that encounter. That should be okay. I do want to be careful, of course, because I do have my trade fleet down here. And I don't want my trade fleet getting wrecked by the Scandinavian Navy. We could come down here and try and hassle the Hansa. I guess just blocking this area off is probably the safest thing to do. We are going to get quite a lot of attrition here. Let's just split you in half. And can't actually move you there anyway, so just let's... forget I even said that, because it's pointless. Now, I should have actually kept that blockaded. We can actually move in there possibly and stop those. 2nd of May, 27th of April. So we can block those guys from getting across. So they've only got a 34 stack here now. And a 34 stack I can actually deal with. And those guys are now stuck. I assume we did win that fight. We'll try and siege out as much stuff as we can down here. Just so that we can try and piece out some of the... should we say the lesser parties in this war. We've managed to occupy that already. Let's go... Well, we can't really move anywhere. Did that trade fleet get into a fight? So it's gained a ship from somewhere. It's gained an early frigate. Which we probably don't need. In fact, yeah, I don't really even want that early frigate. Well, where do I find it? Can't even do it. We'll sort it out later. Not important. Right, you guys are going to try and go around and flank. Which is fine, because I want them to try and attack into me. Obviously taking a fair bit of attrition up here. We did manage to block the Hansa's forces from coming over, so that helps. That's nearly flipped over. Then we'll move over here and start grabbing Galra. Who down here is... Yeah, it's just this stuff up here. So we can go ahead and start grabbing the rest of Galra. Natives popping up. Overseas expansion CBs. Now, where exactly are you going? Are you going to try and come around here? I bet you are, aren't you? So if I move in here... Because this is mountainous. It would be nice if they have to attack me. You're going to arrive on the 19th of July. You're going to arrive on the 21st of July. Are you really going to attack into me on the 21st of July? You are, aren't you? Let's go ahead. We've got no siege progress here. So let's go all in. So they're going to be attacking me in the mountain. They have the terrain penalty. We do have slightly less tactics. And we have a hell of a lot less discipline. We have the same base morale. We are about to heavily reinforce, though. I hope. 9th of August. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Wow. That couldn't have come much closer to the wire. Their front line is being decimated. There's some cores that have now finished. Okay, fantastic. So you guys get back in there and finish off that siege. That's the wrong army. I want the big stack in there. The small stack, you can come back down here and recover. You've become self-sustaining, but we can't do anything else for you right now because we are short of extra colonists. So that's fine, but Australia is a colonial nation now, so they will sort of colonise for themselves. Still got this 100% liberty desire. What we should do at this point then is, well, we are now behind time, so we're going to go ahead and take that tech. That will give us the extra shock. We're also going to go ahead and grab the admin tech, just so that we're getting some increased money coming in. And we're just winning a few little random battles down here, because we're running into people's ships and whatnot. There's Gelra's forces. That siege is over. We can run in here and get a nice little easy kill there. Gelra actually wants a peace offer already. Sure, this is all Gelra as well. Surprised that they've wanted to peace out quite that easily. Won another little random naval battle. They lost 10 light ships. We want to follow over here to Gelra. Now, are you going to go to Meppen and stop? No. So, let's say we did want to peace Gelra out. They're down to medium war enthusiasm already. Gelra. We could try and take stuff from them, but it's in the HRE. It's a little bit risky. Do any of these provinces have important centres of trade? No, it's just Holland, really. So what about if we just wanted war reps? You give it to me. And what about if I wanted all of the money which you don't really have? You'd give it to me. So let's go ahead and send our demands there. So that's some more money coming in, and it's one less person we have to deal with. So let's go and move you into... We're going to start attacking this stuff up here. Although we'd have to come back to our own land first because we're black flagged, which is damn annoying. Should have moved them out first. Not a big problem. Fish being produced somewhere. How are things going over here? Let's get back into the right map mode. So getting a little bit more siege progress there. We don't have a leader with any siege, unfortunately, which is a bit disappointing. But at least our ships seem to be doing their job. There's the transport fleet, so you can stay there. You've lost your black flag, so get yourself... Oh no, we can't actually get through somewhere. I guess that's fine. I guess it isn't really all that important. Do you have any siege, by the way? No. So you have no siege leaders at all. Absolutely terrible. I guess what we'll do now is, yep, we'll just wait for Scandinavia to come in again, and we will try and reinforce. So they're probably going to try and do that same trick they did last time. They're going to get there on the 13th. More cores. And I assume you're now going to try and come in down here. You are. So if we move in, we get there on the 30th. You get there on... Oh, wow. We'll get there way before them. So I'm just going to stop that move. They're going to get there on the 12th of January. I just want to give them a little bit more time to commit. They're not locked yet. I would get there on the 4th. So I still don't have to worry about it. We can wait a couple more days. I would get there on the 8th. They would still get there on the 12th. So we can wait 4 more days. So let's wait until the 25th. Right, Christmas Day, we start our move. We arrive on the 11th. They arrive on the 12th. Now, they're not locked. They could still cancel here. But we're going to detach a siege. They are locked, so these guys are going to move in as well. So they're going to be attacking us in the mountains again. We'll see how this all works out. So we arrive first. They arrive second. They take the penalty. They are rolling better than us, but that's not surprising. It's the AI. It's what the AI does. It rolls better than you. We have managed to reinforce. Actually got a decent roll. And then it goes back to being in the AI's favour, of course. Another decent roll for us. Back to the AI's favour. At least it's a little more even with the rolls. We do have cannons in the front row, which is not ideal. But we managed to do a little bit of damage there. So that 11 stack's going to go back in here to reinforce. This 21 stack can come back down here and try and recover a little bit. This stack is mainly shot to pieces right now. The infantry is not too sure what's going on here. In some population, another doomsday event, got some more money. Okay, so why does this army only have 17 cannons, 2 infantry? I think what we need to do, I think we need to get everybody to go in here, and then we need to reform this army. Have we lost any units? We are still below our force limit a little bit. Let's go ahead and get ourselves... It does take quite a while, but we can queue up a few infantry units down here. I thought they got another big stack then for a moment. It was just because they got a full morale guy on top of their retreating stack. But at least the Hansa can't get up here. They are blocked by these boats that are blockading. So let's go and group up. What have we got here? I guess we can just sit here and take 4.5% attrition. No, we don't want to do that, do we? How many cannons do we need? We need 20 artillery. So let's select the army. We want to take 6 of the artillery away. And we are going to take all of the cavalry away, and we're going to take maybe... leave some of the infantry, because they need to be able to defend themselves. The rest of you can move out. But this is actually forest, so if they do decide to attack us here, it won't be fantastic, but we should still be able to defend. They keep retreating over here. Half tempted to actually move these ships out and see if they want to come down, but at the same time the Hansa might decide that they're going to try and come north and help them, which we prefer not to happen. So we just need to wait, and hopefully this siege will tick, and it should be easy to take some of the other provinces. Obviously we need to take at least one fort before we have any chance of... Why did that just suddenly go down and then up again? We need to make sure that we can take at least one fort, or we won't be able to take anything. Looks like they're about to come in again. On the 12th of June. We've got no leader in this stack either, so let's just make sure we have a leader, especially the guy with a butt ton of manoeuvre. We want him to get there first. So you're going to arrive on the 12th of July. If I move in, I will get there on the 26th of June. We're actually going to go ahead and do a consolidate here. You've got plenty more days to move in. I really don't want to give up siege progress here, which is slightly problematic. 4th of July, 12th of July. I still think they'll commit. And if they don't, I don't actually mind if they just don't attack me. We'll leave behind a minimal siege. And all that is bringing is cannons, which is no good. So we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is we're actually going to consolidate here. We're going to split off and leave behind a couple of cannons just to keep the siege going. And then we're going to move this unit out. So these guys can't actually perform the siege, but they'll stop us losing any siege progress. That's the reason we're doing that. You can actually move in there and sort of bolster the numbers. I think we might have to build up a bit more of an army and try and get some men across here. There they go, they've arrived. Shouldn't take too long for the rest of the army to arrive. They got a couple of good rolls. They do have a river crossing penalty this time as well, because we have our amazing manoeuvre general. And the rest of the army has arrived. Of course, they now lose the river crossing penalty because we've come in and brought one in ourselves, and they kind of balance out. Let's just go ahead and deal with this. Okay, you're not really needed anymore, so we can get rid of you. And now we need to try and think where we're going to start another colonist. So I guess we keep going... Well, there's nothing else down here we can grab, really. Guess we keep going for Australia where we can. So let's grab this one. And one of you guys can move down there. This one's still being colonised, so that's fine. Brilliant. Just got to keep those colonists busy. Right, what were we doing? Oh yeah, that was it. We were fighting Scandinavia. Sweden, Norway. So, looks like we should win that battle. And we did. And again, we've taken heavy losses, but we'll group up, we'll move over here, and we'll conclude in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying EU4's Great Britain, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.